Hello, and welcome to another Contemplative Living, where we talk about concepts to bring contemplation into our everyday lives. Now, we're not talking about, becoming a monk and sequestered away. We're talking about bringing that contemplative way of examining and thinking before we act and bringing that into our everyday interactions. So, what we try to accomplish here is we try to bring that into our everyday lives. We try to bring some of these concepts that we're introducing in this podcast. And if you really want to be a part of this, make sure and subscribe and click the bell so you're notified when we have a new podcast. We're usually here every Sunday morning at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Spirit once said to me, all of us are complete. Know that the illusion of incompleteness fuels desire. And we should always know acceptance of ourselves and where we are, and that we can always change that. We can always change ourselves for the better. We can always change our circumstance for the better. And so what we're talking about here is how that incompleteness, how we feel like we're incomplete, fuels desire. And desire narrows our awareness. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. Let's get to it.
Welcome. Now creating a life of peace. This is Contemplative Living with David Bennett. Contemplations and reflections to help with spiritual living. This podcast is made possible by dharmatalks.com.
All right, so we're talking about desire and how it narrows our awareness. This is something that many philosophers have looked into for ages. So this isn't a new conversation, but it's one that we tend to ignore because we allow our desires to kind of grab hold of us sometimes and drag us on these, drama-filled journeys that we really, really don't want. So those who find release speak about emptiness and the expansiveness of the universe. And so, in relationship to our desires, when we have a contemplative practice, when we have a meditative practice that helps us to find our center and helps us to calm and be at peace, generates a release, and it allows us to live in that open spaciousness. Some call it emptiness. And in that empty spaciousness is that expansive awareness. And we can use that to look at what it is we desire and where we want to go. So our desires tend to weigh us against impossible standards. We find ourselves constantly chasing after the unattainable, yearning for life that only exists in our dreams. And society bombards us with images of perfection, feeding our minds with ideals that are beyond our reach. We become trapped in a never-ending cycle of comparison and self-doubt, forever seeking validation from external sources. These desires consume our thoughts and narrow our awareness to only what we lack. And so that blinds us to the beauty that surrounds us every day. We lose sight of the present moment as we tirelessly pursue future achievements or possessions, convinced that they hold the key to true happiness. But what if we were to shift our perspective? Instead of succumbing to the weight of the impossible standards, we can learn to embrace them as catalysts for growth. Perhaps it's through recognizing and acknowledging our desires that we uncover valuable insights about ourselves. By delving into the depths of these aspirations, understanding their origins and motivations, we may be able to discover hidden truths about who we truly are. Our desires could be guiding lights, illuminating paths toward personal fulfillment and purpose. It's vital not to dismiss or suppress these longings, but rather to explore them with curiosity and with compassion. For within each desire lies a unique opportunity for self-discovery, an invitation to dig deeper into ourselves and unearth the buried treasure waiting patiently beneath society's shallow expectations. In this exploration lies a great potential for empowerment, for transformation, and ultimately finding harmony between who we wish to become and who we really already are. So, our wants undermine our sense of well-being. Our desires bring us right to the edge of the cliff, and we're looking down at the abyss, and many times we miss what's happening all around us. We miss what life has to offer. So, and with that, it undermines who we are, and where we want to go. So we want to examine these desires. We want to look at them closely. And we need that shift in perspective that allows us to understand the nature of desire. Because desire is a flame that flickers within all of us. It's an ignitic force driving our actions and fueling our ambitions. Yet, have we ever truly comprehended its depths? Have we gazed into the heart of desire to unravel its mysteries? Imagine desire as an intricate labyrinth, easy for me to say, but imagine it as that labyrinth, with each turn leading to a new revelation about ourselves and about desire. As we navigate the maze, it becomes clear that desire has many faces. And it can be gentle like a whisper on a summer breeze, or it can be fierce like a raging storm. But what lies beneath these manifestations, what sparks the flame of longing within us? Is it mere pleasure seeking or something deeper? Perhaps understanding the nature of desire means delving into our subconscious realms and searching for hidden motives and yearnings. So, we all want happiness, but we chase after it with compulsive behaviors, and that brings us pain. The Buddha used to teach about desire, and that desire creates grasping, and that grasping creates suffering, because we can't allow the natural flow of things. So we want happiness, but do our desires bring us happiness, or do they bring us pain? Do they motivate us, or do they hurt us and hold us back from being who we really are meant to be? Those are the questions we need to ask ourselves. Because through mindfulness, we can ease the grasp of desire, allowing us to experience the truth of impermanence and the power of intention. So through mindfulness, we can embark on a transformative journey that unveils the profound connection between desire and our awareness. It's within the realm of mindfulness that we discover an extraordinary tool to loosen desire's grip on our lives, unlocking the door to experiencing truth and intention in the purest of forms. In today's fast-paced world, desire often consumes us, trapping us in a relentless pursuit of external validation and material possessions. We all want our toys. We become enthralled by promises of fulfillment that these desires hold, and blinded to the present moment. And it's inherent beauty that is in this present moment. We miss that. But through mindfulness, we can gently disengage ourselves from the cycle. By cultivating a state of non-judgmental awareness towards our desires, we begin to observe their transient nature. We realize that they come and go, like passing clouds or gentle waves upon a shore, impermanent yet capable of shaping our reality if left unattained. Our attention shifts from clinging into those desires to witnessing them with curiosity and compassion. The shift in perception brings forth an inherent understanding. No desire holds ultimate power over us unless we grant it. By acknowledging impermanence as the integral part of life's tapestry, we learn not only to let go, but also to embrace change. Embrace change as a catalyst for growth. Moreover, mindfulness empowers us to uncover the hidden potential within intentions. And as we shed light on these seeds planted deep within our hearts, intentions rooted in love, kindness, and personal development, they flourish into meaningful actions aligned with our true selves. So through mindfulness lies liberation. It liberates us from that incessant desire and from the suffering. So we want to move to a more mindful, more contemplative lifestyle to reduce and to see desires for what they truly are. Now, what we think we become. It's an old adage, but it's very true. Our body, our mind, our soul, our being is constantly listening to our thoughts and acting upon them in subconscious ways, in divine ways. So we need to be mindful. We need to be aware. And we need to develop intentions that are heart-centered and loving and empowering ourselves and our fellow man. Now, I hope that you find a way to bring mindfulness into your daily life and to use that to be able to contemplate your actions, to be able to bring them into what you need, really need in life. I hope you're able to understand, begin to look at your desires, understand the root of them, and what are desires that are compulsive and what desires really, really move you forward in a positive and empowering way. And what is it that really helps you? I like to think of life in simplistic ways. I like to bring simplicity into my life. And with simplicity, it reduces the number of desires that I have. Since my transformation after my near-death experiences, I don't have as many desires. I like to watch life unfold as it really is. And that is empowering for me because I get to see the magic of life. I get to see it unfolding and being who we really are. I hope you have a blessed week. Namaste.
Thank you for listening today to Contemplative Living with David Bennett. Please be sure to subscribe, listen, and share with your friends wherever you listen to your podcasts. You can find us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and the Podbean app. You can find the links to these on David's website, dharmatalks.com, on the Contemplative Living page. Have a blessed week.